Everything that lives is designed to end.
Well, welcome to the cheery Nier Automata. I am that guy that told Tawarayoko that this game was a little bit too cheery.
Is this a
Here we
curse?
are, Nier Automata, one of my favorite surprise game series, completely from nowhere. I think I had heard of Drakengard before learning that it was connected to Nier. However, I had never heard of Nier for PlayStation 3, which I believe is Nier Gestalt in other languages. I believe there are two versions of it. But I have Nier here now, and I'm playing through it. Definitely more on that to come. But Nier Automata. The game styles, the switching game styles, the swings of the camera, the massive boss fights, all of it struck me as so fluid, so able. And despite there are a few sections in the game, and I'll get to those later, but the meat of it, the 2B run through, is sublime. You can dazzle with your sword, even whenever you're not using your pod, which is that little thing floating up over your shoulder that you'll see. It's still just breathtaking whenever you put it all together inside of a horde of enemies. The boss fights all live up. Every single one of them lives up to what you expect from a boss fight. Large and small, they get the scale of the machines and other enemies just feels so precisely wound to what 2B and the other characters can handle and what they can handle. All of that said, I still think the absolute, without a shadow of a doubt, star on top of this Christmas tree of love and depression is the story. Every single aspect of the story tells you exactly what it wants to tell you. The machines that just seem like common fodder here in the beginning, they turn into this relatable amalgam of ignorance, of ennui, of hopeful, willful evolution, which has taken thousands and thousands of years at this point to come to. Whereas the androids, they go kind of on an opposite path. That's as close as I'll get to spoilers, because there are so very many spoilers. But one final note on the story is just the ending. It is one of the most magnificent, grandiose, affecting endings I have ever played. I mean, up there with, like I said in my review, Metal Gear Solids that I've played, which is saying something in my little reality. Like, Half-Life ending, whenever that first came out, or Bioshock's ending, or Bioshock Infinite's ending. And yet it's done with the subtlety of a Last of Us ending, or any other ending that has a subtle, not cliffhanger, just a subtle note at the end to where you're like, you've got to be kidding me, they actually went there. And from what I understand, this has been attempted in previous... I don't want to say too much. The basic shell of the ending has been approached before in this series, but here I think it just absolutely nailed it. It deserves a curtain call, and I echo anyone that's sung the praises of this ending. That's not to say that gameplay doesn't have some issues. The story is just suspend disbelief. If you can do that, then you will run into some of the more thought-provoking characters that you're likely to ever run into. The gameplay, to me, has a serious weakness in the hacking. It is so overused to the point of numbness, which is a shame because some of the story scenes then suffer because I've just been hacking for 20, 30, 40, 50, 3 hours sometimes in a row, because that is the best offensive weapon you have whenever you take control of one of the characters. So then to turn around and be shown these lengthy, just visually uninteresting sections of hacking, you just find yourself asking, well then why did I just spend all this time uselessly hacking when I have these meaningful sections to be hacking through? I wish that character had been rebalanced and just made the benefits to hacking a little bit more AoE, area of effect maybe, as opposed to just one bot at a time. As you've probably heard, you're gonna want to play a couple of playthroughs with this one. That is to say, you'll see credits before you have all the answers, and you'll see a preview for the next time you play the game. Keep going. keep going until you'll know when. It's about 4 playthroughs through. I got through it all in a little bit under 30 hours, and that's avoiding a lot of side missions. The difficulty, I had it on normal, and it wasn't overwhelming, except in 1 or 2 parts later game on like the 3rd playthrough, when I clearly had been just passing up too many opportunities. Even with the hacking and the other couple of drawbacks, this is a 10 out of 10, completely and fully. In my mind, this is one of the best gaming experiences I've ever run into by chance. And it's gone the way of Dark Souls, of Borderlands, of Final Fantasy to me, to where I picked it up knowing little to nothing about it, and absolutely am a devout follower now. I will follow every single game, and I'm going through the backlog right now. As far as playing it again, this is the one 10 out of 10 I'll give, to where I do not think I'll be playing this again. I did start it up just to get this gameplay footage, just for you, and you're welcome. But that ending is so pitch perfect. And so... this sucks. I want you to know how much I want to talk about the ending, to the point where I may talk about it one of these days, but not in this video, because I really want to avoid spoilers if I can. Suffice it to say, this isn't like a BioShock ending to where a big revelation happens and all of a sudden you're like, well, I need to play through this again so I can see if there are any subtle hints. No, this is a complete RPG experience with no need for DLC, with no need for baiting. You are just done. And when the credits roll for the final time, it's just like that satisfying feel of closing the back cover of a book you've just spent so much time and energy pouring through, and you just want to savor it. You want to savor it for as long as you can. And that's just where I'm at. It could be a lifelong savoring. That's how affecting this ending was to me. And the story overall and the game overall. My android love will never die. My black box has finally found its purpose. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you on myggaming.com and next time on YouTube. Bye.